Welcome, people. Before we actually start, I'd just like to start off with a positive note on a positive story, a story that makes us feel a bit warm in our body before we go on to the hardcore stuff. And that is about the Albinism Society of Kenya, where they actually put on a show, like a beauty pageant for people, who actually have, or albinos, basically, who have albinism. And because we know the problem that they suffer on our continent, where in some parts of the continent, in some countries, people actually try to kill them and use them for juju and money rituals and stuff like that. And some of them really suffers because of the staring and at times, being shunned from society and stuff like that. So actually, I think this is a nice, warm story, and it actually shows that, these people are normal. And the people came from all sorts of, of life, from lawyers to people working in customer services. They had kids on the show, and it was just such a beautiful thing. And I think that's a really positive thing that, is being done in Kenya. Hats off to these people, and it's about time we become more aware of these things and, be more tolerant of each other, despite, what physically somebody might look like. This is a new thing I'm trying to do, where I just take stories from Africa and I try to kind of give my opinions on them. So my first story is actually from Liberia. 60% of the country's electricity is being stolen by people. So people are doing illegal connections and they're not actually paying for this electricity. And this actually costing, the country about £35 million. And these are not just individuals. Like, businesses are in on this thing. People actually running businesses are stealing electricity. And £35 million is actually a lot of money, okay? The thing is, this is a country that have actually suffered because of the civil war that just ended in 2003. So some of their power lines were decimated. And currently in Monrovia, it's only 12% of the people living in the actual country's capital that gets electricity. So if the people themselves are actually stealing 60% of the power, who are they really harming? At times, this is the problem that we have. We think, this is a governmental thing. So, I just took it from the government. It's no big deal. The government's problem. You can steal it. I'll turn up at work late because, I work for the government. When we work in private, we turn up on time. The electricity belongs to the government, so I can just steal it. But the point is, you're stealing not from the government, because the government is all of us. So you're stealing from me, you're stealing from yourself, you're stealing from your grandmother who lives in the village, who will never have electricity. When your child is sick and is in another part of town where we might be in the evening and we might need electricity to do an operation, you have stolen from that. An illegal connection is not a problem just for Liberia. It's a problem in Ghana. It's a problem in Nigeria. It's a problem in Uganda. It's a problem in Kenya. It's a problem in most African countries, because there's always a couple of us who think they are wiser than everybody, who can just take what they need or what they want without any repercussions. And 35 million, I bet Liberia goes to the IMF or whatever they borrow money and borrow less than that. 35 million pounds. You run a business, you take money from people. You don't give your services for free, whatever business you run. Why do you think it's all right for you not to pay your electricity bills? 12% of the people in the capital are the ones that get electricity. 12%. You know how ridiculous that is. And we are talking about 2018. We all know how important electricity is. Why do we always have to go outside with our plate begging for stuff when within our own countries money is just going down the drain? All because we are all irresponsible, from citizens to leaders. This is just crazy. And it's about time we set up and put our countries first. We put our own people first, and we made sure that we're trying to be better. We're trying to make our countries look better. We're trying to make our countries, how should I put it, be on the stage that it needs to be, so that we can all be proud of our countries and our continent as a whole. So this woman called Amina Mohammed, she was actually able to pose as the First Lady to gain access into the presidential villa. And on top of that, was able to dupe some businessmen into giving her over $400,000 so that she will help the man get a building deal in Lagos. So this man has been arrested by the Department of State Security, the DSS. And Like, it baffles me how this woman even got access to the presidential villa in the first place as an imposter. The woman was first accused of, posing as the senator's wife for Kogi State, and then when she got through, I don't know, the first security or whatever it was, she posed as the first lady. So that's the President Buhari's wife. Now there's two problems here. The first problem is security. This is the presidential villa. Like, how lax is security in the presidential villa that somebody can come and pose as the first lady of the state and so pass through? If not for anything, are you telling me the security people don't know what Mrs. Mohammed looks like compared to Buhari's wife? So they can't tell the difference that, okay, these are two very different women. Didn't she have to show any ID? Like, it just is mind-boggling. And then you have somebody like the spokesman for the DSS, which is Mr. Peter Ifunanya, saying that, when it comes to security protocol for people like senators and people like the president's wife and stuff like that, it's a bit, there are loopholes. It's a bit relaxing, and so therefore people know that, and that's what maybe she might have used to get in. And I'm like, if you know this, why would you not do something about it? This is crazy. This is a presidential villa, some place that you would think security will be at its tightest, and people can just easily stroll through and go do whatever they want. But the second thing is the greed of our people. You see, we are such greedy people and corrupt people, or should I say some of us, that we do not care. We're just looking out for ourselves. And you see, the problem is this. Ask yourself, why would this man pay over $400,000 to this woman, even though the woman was posing as a first lady? And now that, it didn't go the way he wants to cry foul. Because at the end of the day, government dealings or government business has nothing to do with the first lady, especially when it comes to building. The first lady is not the minister for, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, buildings or whatever it is. They're not the president. The first lady don't award contracts. So why are you giving the first lady over $400,000 if you're not corrupt yourself, sir? It defies logic. A lot of things that we do defies logic. When I say defies logic, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I understand that people are trying to get ahead. So, of course, you're paying to get ahead. But then you forget that that payment, that bribe you're giving is at the detriment of your own country. Because think about it, if you can pay $400, what if somebody comes and can pay $500? So we don't usually get the best for the job. We get the person that can pay more. And we're not talking even about paying more into the government coffers. We're talking about paying more into an individual's coffers. So it's not the government that benefits, the individual that benefits. It's like the alleged case of ENI and Shell in Nigeria. Apparently over $1 billion was paid in bribe. $1 billion over that. I mean, think about that. It's like we have such corrupt people. And it's not just the people in power, it's the individuals, because this businessman, Mr. Alexander Chika Okafor, is not in power. He's just a businessman in the country. And he was happy to pay the alleged first lady or the fake first lady over $400,000 for a business deal in Lagos, a building business. You ask yourself, how much was he going to make of this business deal? Because he has to take away his bribery money plus his profit. You see, it's sad. That's all I can say. All I can say is it's sad. And it's very unfortunate that these things keep happening within our continent. And it's about time, us as individuals acted up. Us as individuals, demanded more. We became better so that these nonsense don't keep happening. Because the people in government are just a reflection of us, the people in society. And if we, the people in society, are started acting right, then we can demand, then we can ask, then we can, make the people in power accountable for their actions. But when we are the people that are fueling this, we are the people that go give them the money, we are the people that go give them these so-called gifts, so that we can gain access, we can take advantage of a system then of course we don't have any moral right. As a matter of fact, we even want to say it when they do something wrong. Anyway, let me know in the comment section what you think, and please do share and like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for your time.